Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, Raha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations, and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, Israelites Are Waking Up. You know, the so-called Negroes, the Latinos, and Native American Indians, the 12 lost tribes of Israel are waking up. You know, here we go into, June of 2022. And you have Israel, the 12 lost tribes, the children of God, the children of the Lord's people that are waking up. You know, you've had a division. You know, the Lord said he was going to strip Israel in the land of their captivity, you know, strip us of our heritage. You know, but he wasn't gonna totally, just leave us. You know, he was still gonna have a mercy on a remnant. But you have Israelites waking up all over the world, in Italy, in Germany, Africa, London, Spain, China, Asia, Egypt, you know, through the Americas. You have Israelites waking up. And this isn't a color thing. Now, Esau, the white folks, they've made it a color thing. But the Lord said his heritage is of a speckled bird. Now, if you Google and search out what a speckled bird looks like, it's many different shades of a brown, a light brown, a very light brown, to a dark brown. It has different colors. And that's what the Lord was saying. My heritage is of a speckled bird. So you have Israelites that look like Tom Brady. And he could be a Israelite. You know, it's good. That's going to go over a lot of people's head because they've been brainwashed by the devil to think, well, they're not, they're not this color, they're not that color. When it just said, the Lord told you his heritage is of a speckled bird. You know, this thing is spiritual. This isn't about, color. Esau has made it about color. You know, and there's many other, Israelites that, as far as I'm just using an example for the entertainment world, or, the Filipinos, even Japhet and the Samoans and Islanders and, the so-called Africans, the Arabians. There's Israelites scattered into all nations. The Lord said, I'm going to scatter them into all nations into captivity. But this is spiritual, and those that can receive this word and understand that, it is possible that you could be an Israelite, man. That you can accept and understand this word and see it clearly. You know, the Lord's only dealing with his elect. So you're going to see Israelites that look like the other nations, and people just go off, well, he looks like a white person, he's white. He looks like he's Chinese, so he could be Chinese. Prime example, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee could be an Israelite, because the Lord told you Israel is a peculiar people. They're a special people. Talented, the most talented people in the world, the universe, without a question. Talented. A lot of your entertainers, your inventors, they're Israelites. Now, Esau, they've lied. But the Lord told you in this coming time that he was going to expose Esau for all the lies that they've told. He's given them a time to rule because, his people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, our forefathers went off. So we've been placed in captivity, and you still have Jake, running around here in the Americas and around the world talking about they want reparations. It's right here in the Bible from what your God, your power is telling you what these reparations going to be. So it tells you in Revelations 13, I think it was 11 or 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And all these nations had a hand into putting Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, into captivity. They placed you into slavery. And still to this day, you're in slavery. You go to work and you're working for the lowest jobs. If you get a top-notch job and you're a Jake, you have to do all type of tricks and backflips and kiss butt. And you got to do all type of crazy stuff to even eat at the crumbs of Esau. But at the end of the day, they hate you. They hate you. But the Lord said in this time that he was going to, he's going to expose Esau, Edom, which are these so-called white folks, the red people, and he was going to raise back up a remnant, and Israel was going to come back and breathe life into those dead bones, into those bones, the valley of dry bones. I can tell you in Ezekiel. And that's what's happening right now. Even those Jakes that they hear and they understand, and they understand that they're Israel. Even though those that are not doing thus said the Lord, they believe and agree that they're Israel. The people of the Bible. That's the Lord waking back up his people. They may not be of the elect, but they hear and they kind of they understand that we are the people of the Bible. So that's the Lord breathing breath into them dry bones. Israelites are waking back up all over the world, But he's dealing with the elect. The elect is going to understand this, and they're gonna understand the Lord's word, and they're going to do thus said the Lord. They're going to stop doing all their wickedness. They're going to come out of this beast system, and they're going to come back to their heritage and do the Lord's high holy days. Understand and do his dietary law, fast and pray. They're gonna try their best to understand and do thus said the Lord and come back to their heritage all the way to the end. That's the elect. That's who the Lord is dealing with. That's who he's dealing with. So let's go to Psalm 64. But Israelites are waking back up all over the world. So Esau got to come after us. They got to come after us. So let's go to Psalm 64. Psalm 64 and 5. This is Esau. Psalm 64 and 5, and it reads, They encourage themselves in an evil matter, right? They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? And that's what this is all about. Esau has laid all these snares to Jake. This is about Esau and Jacob. All these other nations, they're just extras in the movie. This is about you so-called white folks and you so-called Native American Indians, Negroes, and Latinos. Esau versus Jacob. This is what this is about. Period. And like he said, they commune and lay snares. You know, they poison our food. You know, they've put drugs and weapons all in our communities. You know, they cast us in prison. You know, sent us to the worst schools. They've moved Esau, these so-called white folks have moved the goalpost. They've cheated, you know, to get ahead. And, you know, it's not hard to see. You know, they've put this new hot sauce, this new juice, to where you have to, you know, you're gonna take it, or you could possibly lose your job and your home. You know, they've done all type of they've laid all type of snares and traps to try to get you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Salakia. Salakia. Salakia, Akim. So they've laid all these traps and snares. So we'll go to and it says they say, who shall see them? 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, but in the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. 7, but YAHAWAHSHI shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. And this is this word that's this arrow that's shooting at them, and it's hurting them. That's why they want to take down these you know, they want to take down this word and remove the apostles and elders, you know, from off the street, stopping this word. That's the Lord shooting this arrow at them. This word, it isn't. We're not using weapons. You know, starting with the apostles and elders and the prophets on down, that great millstone, the house of David. We're not using guns. We're not using knives or any weapons. We're using the word of the Bible to destroy Esau. That's what the Lord said to do. We don't need no weapons. We don't want no weapons. This is our weapon, this Bible. You know, and we're spiritually spanking Esau, and he can't take it. That's what the Lord said to do. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi. We're not using no guns. We're not using no knives. We're not using any devices or explosives or any technology. This word, this Bible, this is what we're using to destroy Esau in this wicked demonic kingdom. Our reparations are going to come. He told you, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. And Esau has led us into captivity off that slave Atlantic trade, that slave ship, and put us in a captivity, brought us from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Because Israel and Egypt and all that is way on the other side of the world from the Americas. The North Americas, the South America is way on the other side of the world. They've brought us here and enslaved us and beat us and gunned us down. They've tried to come up with every single plan to destroy Israel, but they can't do it. They can't do it. You know why? Because it's thus said the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi. You know, he was gonna put a whooping on us, but he wasn't going to totally destroy Israel. He's going to leave a remnant, and that remnant is starting with them elders the apostles and elders and the prophets on down that great millstone. You know, the Abba Vivens, the King Marshas, the High Priest Arya, and Apostle Tahar, and Apostle Gabar, and Ramlat, and Rakah. You know, the Elder Malcolmas, and you know, the elders and the apostles, the men before. You know, and on down to the prophets. And we're using this word to spank Esau. And this is what's killing him. And this is what those are those arrows. And ultimately, that them ICBM missiles, right along with them chariots, when the Lord come back, those so-called UFOs, the angels, they're just gonna totally burn this place all the way down. And the other nations, starting with Esau, Edom, is going to build this place up, the kingdom. They're going to build it. We're going to put them in chains and slavery. It tells you. Matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get it. What is that? It tells you that, you know, we're going to put Esau on them. We're going to put Esau and these other nations in the chains, shackles, just like how they did us. And it's going to be like that, man. Israel is going to rule for eternity, forever. But I'm going to go to Psalm 149, and we'll go to 149 and 7, and it reads, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. Who is the heathen? Starting with Esau, Edom, and these other nations. You know, these so-called white folks, and the Chinese and Japanese, and the Arabics, Elam, you know, as far as biblical term, you know, all it's the Spaniards, you know, the Ethiopians, the Hamitic, the Africans, you know, all these nations are going to be, and they're the heathens. You 2/3 too are counted as heathens. You 2/3 Jakes. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because the Lord's going to destroy 2/3 of Jake, because they can't get this, and they won't stop doing wickedness. They're too far gone in Babylon. But it says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. 8, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. We're going to put chains on you. I'll read it again. To bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. 9, to execute upon them judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahawah, the Lord. You see? We're going to put you, that's our reparation. And there's going to be blood spilled too in this third world war. You know, there's no other way around this. We don't want no type of land here in America. We don't want your money. We don't want your jewelry. We don't want none of that. We're going to get that in the kingdom. But ultimately, your blood is going to be spilled. So let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 46 and 9. Isaiah 46 and 9. And it reads, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahawah, and there is none else. I am YAHAWAHSHI, and there is none like me. You see? 10. Declaring the end from the beginning. And this is what this Bible, and this is what the Lord said, what was going to happen. You know, in the latter days, Jacob was going to bring down Esau, and the elder shall serve the younger in the kingdom. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And that's what's coming. You see? That's exactly what's coming. The Lord is doing his pleasure. He told you it's going to, the first woe pass, the second woe pass, and the third woe come quickly. You know, there's been a World War I, there's been a World War II, and we're about to go through the last war, the World War III. And this is ultimately to destroy this place, America, Babylon, because of the wicked that they've done. They furthered the afflictions of the children of Israel, the Lord's children, you know, and they've done all manner of wickedness. They celebrate all these pagan holidays and man on man, women on women, you know, eating all the abominable foods. You know, they're not doing thus said the Lord. They're not doing thus said the Lord. So let's go to Job. A couple more and I'm going to close out. Job 12. Oh, Salakia, Job 8. Job 8. Or no, Salakia. Job 5. Salakia. Job 5. Job 5. And this is what the Lord is doing to Esau. Job 5 and 11. Actually, Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hand cannot perform their enterprise. You see? And that's what the Lord is doing. They plan to go forth with this new world order. They plan to go forth and put this technology in you, this CHIP, and the rest of these different devices, this hot sauce and this juice inside you. And, you know, these are all devices and the craftiness of Esau that they're going to use against you Jakes ultimately. And even if it means destroying Esau's own people, he's going to do that to try to accomplish what he's trying to do, to make to rule forever. But the Lord said, he just told you, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. The Lord's he's gonna give. Esau got a little bit longer. That's why all this stuff is going on. That's why Esau is burning up all these meat plants. He's destroying the crops of the farms. He's burning down and killing all these animals, the rainforest. He's just totally destroying the earth, man. So he can try to build his new world order. But the Lord said he's going to disappoint the devices of of his craftiness, of the wicked. So let's go to Micah. I'm going to close out with this. Micah, let's go to Micah. Yeah, Esau ain't got too much longer, man. Esau's time is coming to a complete end here. We're watching the end of the heathen rulership. We're watching the end of the heathen rulership. Micah 4, and we'll close out with this. Micah 4 and 10. And it reads, "Be in pain, labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion." And who is Zion? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's Zion. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. You see that? Let me read it again. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. This is Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. You know, this isn't talking about Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar. This is talking about this time Babylon, because Israel wasn't delivered from Babylon. We went from captivity to captivity to captivity. This is the last captivity. So the Lord said he's going to deliver us, the elect. There, YAHAWAHSHI shall redeem thee from the hand of the enemies. Call Allah YAHAWAHSHI. And that's what's coming. That's what's coming. The Lord is about to deliver the elect out of the hand of the enemies. So, the Lord is exposing Esau, but ultimately the Israelites are waking up. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All of the tribes, there's a remnant that's coming together. That's coming together. The Negro tribes, the Latino tribes, and the Native American Indian tribes, and all the scattered, the ones of the speckled bird that look like the other nations. They're all coming together. You have Israelites that's waking up from London, Holland, Germany, Spain, Asia, China, Africa, all over the world. Israel is waking up, and they, like I said, the scattered, the ones that from the speckled bird that look like the other nations, they're waking up to their heritage. Lord willing, the elect endure all the way to the end and be delivered. Lord willing, I'm part of the elect. I don't want Ratazah. Okay, so it's kind of messing up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and close out on that, but hopefully you were edified. I don't want Ratazah come back with another lesson, but I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah Kwadash. Shalom, Israel.